AITA for fat shaming my husband's affair partner? I always thought if my marriage ended, it would be something dramatic, like a fight, a confession, something I could see coming. But nope. It started with an Amazon notification on my husband's 44M phone. That's right. I, 45F, found out my husband was having an affair thanks to an automatic text. The package wasn't for me. Or our daughter. It was a silk robe, size 3X. I asked him about it, half laughing, half curious. He blinked. Lied. Said it was for his mom. His mom, who's a petite 60-something with rheumatoid arthritis who wouldn't be caught dead in a lacy red robe. Cue the suspicious wife antenna going off. I didn't say anything right then. I let it go. Took a photo of the receipt, logged into our shared Amazon account, and started checking past orders. There were signs. Chocolate-covered strawberries, hotel bookings, a book titled Finding Passion After 40. The hell? I confronted him that night. Calm. No screaming. Just, who is she? He tried to spin some story about an old friend, how he was just trying to cheer her up during a hard time, that it was nothing. I told him to cut the crap. After 10 minutes of back and forth, he finally admitted to sleeping with her. It's been going on a few months, he said, avoiding my eyes. It just happened. And here's the kicker, I asked to see her photo. When I did, I swear my blood turned to steam. Not because she was stunning. Not because she was young. But because she looked like me. Maybe older. Definitely plus size. Similar body, similar face shape, even curly hair like mine. If I walked into a restaurant and saw her, I'd assume we were distant cousins. Twins in some sick alternate reality. I stormed out. Didn't even cry at first. Just drove to my sister's place and ranted. And in that moment, I said some awful stuff. Of course she's fat, he has a damn fetish, I snapped. Can't even cheat with variety. My sister, 42F, who's always been the voice of reason, said nothing that night. My best friend, 44F, thin as a rail and ride-or-die loyal, handed me wine and said, screw him. And her. Ugly inside and out. I felt validated. Angry. Powerful, even. But that power quickly soured. Because the next morning, my sister sat me down and asked, would you be okay if your daughter spoke about another woman like that? I brushed her off. She pressed on. Would you be okay if someone said that about you? Oof. I hadn't expected that. I mean, this woman is sleeping with my husband. Doesn't that give me a pass to tear her apart? Apparently not. Still, I wasn't done spiraling just yet. I left my sister's house feeling like I got hit with a TED Talk and a guilt trip at the same time. It wasn't that she was wrong. She wasn't. But I wanted to feel right. I wanted to stay mad, to sit in the fire and roast marshmallows over it. But now I couldn't even do that without thinking, damn. Did I just become a bully with a broken heart? Still, I wasn't done unraveling. I went home. My husband wasn't there. He'd conveniently gone to clear his head. I pictured him in that dumb red robe, lying next to his Walmart brand mistress in some cheap hotel bed while I sat in the wreckage of our 16-year marriage. I couldn't help myself. I stalked her online. Found her Facebook. Open profile. Name, Deborah. Of course it's Deborah. Occupation, women's empowerment coach. I almost choked on my own spit. There she was, posting inspirational quotes about living your truth and never settling for less than you deserve. Ma'am, you're dating a married man who still lives with his wife. You're settling for the bare minimum and calling it a victory. Every fiber of me wanted to comment, do you empower yourself before or after sleeping with other women's husbands? But I didn't. I just kept scrolling, hate reading. Her photos were so similar to mine, it was jarring. Same kinds of outfits. Same big smile. Same soft body, proudly on display in floral dresses. Except, hers had comments from my husband underneath. Gorgeous as always. Damn, you wear confidence well. Heart emojis. He'd never commented like that on my stuff. Ever. Not in the last decade, at least. I didn't even know he used heart emojis. That night, I couldn't sleep. My daughter, 19F, was away at college, but I FaceTimed her just to hear her voice. She doesn't know about the affair yet. I don't know how to tell her that her dad is a two-faced clown and her mom is falling apart. After the call, I stared at myself in the mirror. Same body type. Same age bracket. But he picked her. So it clearly wasn't just about sex or looks. That realization hit harder than anything. He didn't cheat down. He cheated sideways. It wasn't about finding something better. It was about escaping something familiar. And that hurt worse. The next day, I did something stupid. I texted Deborah. I said, hope he told you he's still married. Just letting you know you're not his only. She replied, I'm sorry. I thought you were separated. He said you were roommates. I had no idea. I almost laughed. That classic move. Roommates. The human version of the we were on a break excuse. She sent one more message. I'll back off. You're clearly hurting. I didn't mean to cause pain. And I hated that I couldn't even hate her properly. I didn't reply to Deborah. I didn't know what to say. Her message wasn't defensive, wasn't petty, it was decent. And that pissed me off even more, because now I couldn't even fully paint her as the villain. That role still belonged to my husband. And lucky me, he walked back into the house 2 days later like nothing happened. No shame, no flowers, not even fake remorse. Just a, hey. We should talk. I said, we should divorce. His eyebrows shot up like I'd suggested setting the couch on fire. No, he said, like that was some magic word that would reverse time. Can we just slow down? You're hurt. I get that. I didn't mean for it to happen. Yes, the universal cheater's anthem. I didn't mean for it to happen. I laid it all out, what I found, what he said, what Deborah told me. He sat there, silent, picking at his cuticles like a teenager caught shoplifting. Then, and I kid you not, this man had the audacity to say, she listens to me. I blinked. So do therapists. Go pay one. He kept digging. I don't know, we connect. She makes me feel wanted. Not judged. Like. I'm still interesting. I stared at him for a long time. This was the man who hadn't asked me how my day was in over a year. The man who sat in silence during dinners, who forgot my birthday last year, who only touched me in bed after a few drinks and 5 minutes of SportsCenter. And I made him feel unwanted? I didn't even yell. I just asked him to sleep on the couch. That's when the fight began. Apparently cheating is forgivable, but kicking him off the marital bed is crossing the line. Eventually, he slammed the door and left. I think he expected me to chase after him. I didn't. I made tea and called my best friend instead. Now here's where it gets complicated. My best friend, loyal as ever, said, you should blast them both. Expose her. Humiliate him. People like that don't deserve privacy. And I almost did. I almost made a Facebook post with screenshots. I even had a caption ready, here's what finding yourself looks like when you're a lying, middle-aged husband with commitment issues. But then I pictured my daughter seeing it. Her friends. My coworkers. My sister. Anne. Deborah. Because deep down, I didn't believe she knew. And I couldn't shake the thought, what if she really was lied to? What if she was a victim too, in some twisted way? That night, I got another text from her. I'd like to talk. If you're open to it. Woman to woman. I'm not here to fight. Just want clarity. I should have said no. But curiosity, and maybe some weird need for control, got the better of me. I said yes. We met the next morning. We met at a little coffee place 2 towns over. Neutral ground. No chance of running into neighbors or awkward questions. I recognized her instantly, even though we'd never met in person. Deborah, 49F, stood up when I walked in, gave me a cautious smile, and said, thank you for agreeing to this. I sat down. Let's make this quick. She nodded. No makeup, hair pulled back, plain t-shirt. No showmanship. No perfume. No signs of gloating. Honestly, she looked just as wrecked as I felt. She started with, I didn't know he was still living with you. He told me you two were separated. Just roommates finishing up paperwork. I let out a small laugh. So the classic playbook, huh? She nodded. Yeah. I've heard the stories. Just never thought I'd be in one. I wanted to hate her. Really. But as she started talking, my hatred had nowhere to land. This woman wasn't rubbing it in. She wasn't smug or delusional. She was just hurt. She told me she met him through some business networking group. They'd bonded over their kids, aging parents, the usual midlife crises topics. She said he was charming at first. He didn't flirt aggressively. It was subtle. Like, the emotional affair crept in before the physical one did. And that hit me hard. Because that's exactly how he was with me when we first met. Kind, attentive, gentle. Like a man who wanted to really know you. It used to feel rare. Now it just feels like a damn tactic. I finally asked her the question that had been eating me alive. Why me? She blinked. What? He chose you, but you and I, we look the same. We're the same size. The same vibe. Same damn curls. So it's not about looks. Why did he pick you? She looked down at her cup and said something that'll stay with me forever. I don't think he picked me. I think he was trying to recreate something. Maybe fix something in his head by replacing it. Or maybe he just couldn't face whatever was broken with you, so he started over, same model, fresh start. It felt like someone poured cold water down my spine. We were both placeholders. Mirrors. Temporary illusions. I didn't cry. But I felt the ache settle in my chest like concrete. Before I left, she said, I'm sorry. I really am. I blocked him last night. I told him I wouldn't be a part of this anymore. I thanked her. I don't even know why. As I walked to my car, I checked my phone. There were 2 missed calls from my husband and a voicemail. Why are you meeting with her? What are you trying to do? This is low, even for you. Low? For meeting the woman he cheated with? That was the moment it clicked. This man has zero accountability. None. The emotional IQ of a flip-flop. I didn't respond. I just started planning. I didn't confront him right away. That would have been too easy. He expected a dramatic showdown. Screaming, maybe tears. That's what people like him are wired for, short bursts of chaos, followed by apologies and promises he never planned to keep. No. I wanted this to sting. Quietly. So, I played the role. For a few days, I acted like we were working through it. I was calm. Polite. Even asked what he wanted for dinner one night. He actually smiled like things were getting back to normal. It made my skin crawl. While he was at work, I met with a lawyer. Turns out, cheating still matters in our state, especially if it can be proven to impact finances. Like, say, hotel bookings on our joint credit card. Romantic gifts with our shared Amazon account. I had receipts. Literally. I made copies. Backed up everything. Even printed out screenshots of Deborah's messages. The lawyer smiled. You've already done half my job. Then came the financial freeze. I moved half the money from our joint savings into an account in my name, perfectly legal, since I contributed 60% of it and had documentation. Froze any large transactions over $500 unless both parties approved. Changed all the passwords on the accounts that were mine, email, phone plan, Netflix. Hell, even Spotify. Petty? Maybe. But if he wanted to listen to music while screwing people over, he'd need to make his own playlist. Finally, I wrote him a letter. Old-fashioned, I know. But I didn't want him interrupting me mid-sentence. It said, we're done. Not because you cheated, but because you disrespected me long before that. You stopped being my partner a long time ago. I just didn't want to see it. I met Deborah. She showed me more kindness in 1 hour than you have in years. Don't bother calling. The lawyer will be in touch. I left it on the kitchen counter. Then I packed a weekend bag, grabbed my daughter's favorite cookies and her childhood blanket, and drove to visit her at college. I told her everything. She cried. Then I cried. Then we watched dumb reality TV and laughed like we used to when she was 12. That night, my phone exploded. Missed calls. Texts. Voicemails ranging from, please come home, to, you're overreacting, to, you ruined this family. Nah, buddy. You did. The next morning, Deborah texted me one last time. Thank you for hearing me out. I hope you find peace and power. I'm sorry again. And honestly, I believed her. We were both lied to. Both used. Both betrayed. The only difference is, I woke up, and now I'm walking out. I've got a lawyer, a plan, and a spine made of steel. For the first time in a long time, I feel like me again. It's been 3 weeks since I left the letter. He moved out. Well, technically, I kicked him out, but let him keep pretending he made that choice. His pride's the only thing he has left, and I'm not interested in salvaging it. The divorce is underway. No dramatic courtroom scenes, no late-night apologies. Just signatures, silence, and a slow unraveling of a life that should have ended years ago. I found weird comfort in the quiet. At first, the silence was deafening. I'd find myself reaching for his coffee mug out of habit. Folding the towels in sets of 2. Still checking the garage for his car when I pulled in. Now, I just fold 1 towel. Brew 1 cup of coffee. And the garage? It looks better without his car in it. I've started therapy. Not because I think I'm broken, but because I want to stop attracting people who think I am. My therapist said something I keep replaying in my head. He didn't cheat because you weren't enough. He cheated because he wasn't. I wish I had heard that version of truth when I was 30. Hell, when I was 20. And Deborah? She sent one more message last night. Said she'd started journaling. Said meeting me was her wake-up call. She's not dating anyone. She's working on herself. I told her, I hope you never let someone like him shrink you again. She replied. Same to you. I'll never be friends with her. We're not that kind of story. But I don't hate her. She was a symptom. He was the disease. And my daughter? She came home this weekend. Helped me redecorate the house. We took down the old wedding photos. Replaced them with framed prints of the places I want to travel. Lisbon. Kyoto. Banff. Places I used to dream about before I settled into the daily grind of laundry, bills, and trying to keep a marriage alive on fumes. Last night, over dinner, she asked me something that stopped me cold. Mom, if I ever went through what you did, what would you want me to do? I thought about it. Long and hard. Then said. I'd want you to rage, cry, fall apart, whatever you need. But then I'd want you to rebuild. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. I'd want you to remember that walking away isn't weak. Sometimes it's the bravest thing you'll ever do. She nodded. Then she said something I never expected. I'm proud of you. God, that wrecked me in the best way. So, am I the asshole for fat-shaming my husband's affair partner? Yeah. I was. I let pain turn me into something small. But I've outgrown that now. That version of me, the bitter, betrayed version, she served her purpose. She got me out of a dead marriage. She snapped me awake. But I'm done with her. From here on out, it's just me. Unapologetically whole. Unshrinkable. And you know what? That's the best revenge of all.